I'm smoking on platinum. Got my eye on the prize, so I don't do distractions. I'm coming back.
The next three are cornerbacks of this generation. We got Stephon Gilmore, Jalen Ramsey, and Jaire Alexander. I'll go first. I'm starting Ramsey. I'm benching Gilmore, and I'm cutting Jaire. I'm sorry. There could be a little favoritism there. I love Jalen Ramsey since college. So that's where I'm going with him starting. Benching Gilmore because that man, didn't he just win Defensive Player of the Year last year or 2 years ago?
Yeah, like not this season that just finished, but the season before.
He had a great year that year. So I got to go with him over Jaire in this case. Jaire is a great cornerback. Now we're talking about longevity, of course. I would say Jaire because I feel like his career in the future will be good. But right now, I got to go Ramsey, Gilmore, and Jaire getting cut. Go ahead, Austin.
Well, I'm starting Ramsey. I don't really think anybody is going to put Ramsey on the bench or let alone cut him. Ramsey, when Gilmore won DPOY, I was on the side of it's undisputed that Gilmore is the best corner in the NFL. But then he kind of took a small step back this season that just finished. And then he had some injury concerns, and there's trade rumors. So there's obviously somebody sees something in Gilmore that he's not the same player that he was. So I'm benching Jaire because Jaire, what is he, 20? He's 23, I think, or 24, one of the two.
24.
Yeah. He's 24. And he's already arguably a top 5 corner in the league. He's kind of in the same situation as Marlon Humphrey. You can argue he's a top 5 corner in the league, very young. And at some point in time, now whether it's when Ramsey has a down year for once and he has a good year, I think you can make the argument of Jaire being the best corner in the league within the next 5 years. So I'm benching Jaire and I'm cutting Gilmore because Gilmore's also 30, I think. He's in various trade rumors. I think he's taking a slow step back, and I think if they do trade him, I think whatever team they trade that he gets traded to, they're not going to get the Gilmore that they're used to. And you also got to remember, there was about a 3-season window that Gilmore was regarded as a top 5 corner. Nobody said that when he was in Buffalo. Nobody said that his first couple seasons in New England. So I got to cut Gilmore.
Okay.
I'm gonna go in reverse. I'm cutting Gilmore. I'm benching Ramsey, and I'm starting Jaire.
Oh my! There's no way you're benching Ramsey.
Now listen.
There's no way.
Oh my goodness.
Anything that Jaire can do, Ramsey does it better.
The thing is, Jaire has more tackles. He has more assisted tackles.
We're talking about tackles?
A sack. And they both
We're talking about sacks for corners?
And they both have an interception.
They both have for corners?
Interception. Now, they both completely erase receivers from the game. Completely. But all three of them. All 3 of them completely erase receivers from out the game. But Jaire, I saw a stat. It was during the season. I saw a stat where top receivers against him, I don't think any of them got over probably 15 yards.
I love Jaire. I think he's amazing. There's no corner you can start over Jalen Ramsey right now. And in fact, Ramsey's still young.
Listen.
You can't bring up sacks when you're talking about a corner. That's like bringing up picks on a D lineman.
That can hold any top receiver to less than 15 yards.
His name's Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey, yeah, but it's like, if I'm talking DK, they both do it, right?
He had a bad game against DK, and everybody says that DK is some
They
god.
both do the same things perfectly.
Ramsey does.
And it's so close between them, bro. But as of right now, I'm taking Jaire slightly above Ramsey. Slightly.
Still can't get over this man brought up sacks. One team blitzes their corners, the other team doesn't. The other team plays nothing but straight man coverage.
I mean, hey,
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to the last set of players for start bench cut. We got Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, and Josh Allen. Go ahead, Justin.
I'm curious to see this one.
Obviously, I'm starting Josh Allen. I
Thank
love me some Lamar. Y'all know me. Come on. I love me some Lamar, but hey, 2019, 58.8 completion percentage, 3,000 yards, 20 touchdowns, 9 picks, 85.3 QBR. The next year, you give him Stephon Diggs, 69.2 completion percentage, 4,544 yards, 37 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions with a 107.2 QBR. Everything skyrocketed. All his stats skyrocketed when you give him a good receiver. So I can't knock that. You gotta give your boy some props. Gotta start Josh Allen. I'm benching Lamar, and I'm cutting Kyler. There's not really much to say. As bad as as Lamar's receiving core is, and the difficulty of his division, and I could say the same for Kyler, the difficulty in his division. But you have D-Hop. There's no excuse. Y'all were bad. Y'all were 8-8. I think worse than 8-8 before D-Hop. I think they were like 7-8-1 or something crazy like that. Then you get D-Hop. Everybody is calling you a contender. In the beginning of the season, everybody's saying if you put Kyler Murray on the Ravens, they're a Super Bowl contender.
I don't know. It's
Really, like, come on now. You give them D-Hop and they don't even make playoffs. Like, everybody, they're contenders.
That whole division is contenders.
Kyler's good, but we gotta pipe down on him. Bro. Listen. We gotta pipe down on him. He's now. Is he a top 10 QB?
Yes.
That's spicy.
Who, Kyler?
Hot. Is Kyler top 10? That's hot, but that's a story for another time. But I'm benching Lamar. I'm cutting Kyler.
Go ahead. Awesome.
Well, I'm starting Josh Allen because, just look at his play, for, like Justin said, his play from the previous season to last season. He was an MVP candidate this season. Now, if Rodgers didn't have the great season that he had, I think it would have been between Josh Allen or Derrick Henry. But sure. Josh Allen had his best season. He had his best season in terms of throwing the ball accurately. That was one of his big concerns when he was coming out of Wyoming, was that he had amazing arm talent in terms of strength, but he wasn't very accurate with the football. And we saw that for the first 2 seasons. And even the couple of times in this season that just passed, there were some throws that he made that were like, man, how do you miss those? But that's very, very prevalent with another quarterback on this list that I'll get to in a minute. And Josh Allen also he's got Stephon Diggs. He's got an easy top 5 receiver on his team, which is going to help him out. So I'm going to start Josh Allen. I'm going to bench Kyler Murray because Kyler Murray, in my opinion, is a better Lamar, just with a little bit less talent running the ball, because I'm still one of those people that considers Lamar more of a runner than a passer. It's very evident if you watch him play. That's why no receivers have gone to Baltimore, because they don't want to block and have a maximum of 5 targets a game. Kyler Murray has D-Hop. He's got A.J. Green now, Christian Kirk, Andy Isabella. Like I said earlier, they got Rodney Hudson. They lost Kenyon Drake, but I think Chase Edmonds is better than Kenyon Drake in that offense at least. So he's in a better position to succeed. And then cutting Lamar. Now, I will give Lamar the benefit of the doubt here because he is in the worst position to succeed out of these three quarterbacks because he doesn't have anybody to throw to. Hollywood Brown is nothing but a deep threat on a good team. They lost Willie Snead, so he really doesn't have anybody to throw to outside of Mark Andrews. And teams literally will triple team him because they know nobody else is going to get open. So I will give Lamar the benefit of the doubt there that he just doesn't have anything to do but run the ball. But Lamar misses throws. He misses them a lot more than Ravens fans care to admit. I will say that Lamar can throw the ball better when it's 20-plus yards down the field than he can, less. He's got better deep to medium accuracy than he does throwing short routes, but those short routes are what can get you, plays from somebody like Hollywood. You get on the ball and he's off to the races, and he just misses those simple throws. So I have to cut Lamar. Because if a team could actually stop Lamar from running the ball, now it's a very hard thing to do. I'll give him his credit where it's due. You can make the argument that he's a better runner than Michael Vick. But if you stop him from running the football, you're stopping that entire Ravens offense. And that's also because Greg Roman is an idiot and is using an offense from the early 2000s that doesn't work anymore. I mean, the entire Ravens playbook is inside zone or read options. So, but I still have to cut Lamar because I just can't put him over the other two receivers, even though he's in the worst position to succeed.
The MVP winner getting cut. It's interesting.
Now you see, I was going to get upset, but then you explained it, so now I'm okay. I get it.
For me,
yeah.
I'm going to go Josh Allen. Like y'all said, had a great year this past year.
Right.
Actually was on my fantasy team. I loved him. Second, we'll go Lamar. I can't cut the MVP winner. Just can't do it. Had a great year.
Because he didn't deserve the MVP.
I think he did. Broke all rushing records by a quarterback. Better runner than Michael Vick, in my opinion. I disagree with when you said he can throw it deep accurately than he can throw short. I feel like he misses more. I've seen him miss more deep throws than he has inside the numbers and short passes.
Oh, he still misses deep throws too, don't get me wrong. But I consistently see this man overthrow slant routes or, he'll throw an out route and he'll throw it to where the receiver has to make some DeAndre Hopkins type of catch in order to catch it. And they don't have anybody tall enough or good enough to do stuff like that.
I disagree, though. I think he struggles, like you said. I'd probably say he struggles more with deep throwing than the medium and short routes. Greg Roman, he is not the best offensive coordinator in the league, certainly.
One of the worst.
So
I think the worst.
That should be a knock, but that even more credits to him because at the age of 23, he's the most accurate quarterback. And he was the most accurate quarterback of all time. So that gives Lamar some credit there.
We got to look at how many pass attempts he had. I don't know what that number is off the top of my head, but I'm willing to bet that number is significantly lower than most quarterbacks at the age of 23.
You could, but
if they didn't have Greg Roman, they wouldn't. Yeah,
and you also got to realize that
they're not going to throw the ball anyways a lot.
Well, that offense worked the first season because nobody had seen it run like that with a quarterback like Lamar running the ball. I mean, I wholeheartedly believe, and I'm not going to sit here and say Lamar's a running back. That's a stupid argument. But I'm wholeheartedly believe that you could throw Lamar running back, and he would still be a very good running back in the NFL. So that's just a test to how great his running ability is. But like I said, I don't think he deserved that MVP. So saying that you're going to cut the MVP, well, he shouldn't have been the MVP in my opinion because there's a quarterback over in the city of Seattle that very clearly deserves that MVP over over Lamar Jackson just because one quarterback had more rushing yards than the other.
But he
what was his team record that year?
In the second half of the season.
What was whose record that year?
Yeah, Seattle.
What were we talking 2 seasons ago? I want to say they were Were they 10-6, 11-5? I'm not very good with remembering records.
14-2.
And not to mention, Russell Wilson was on a tear in the beginning.
And they both made it the same length.
And then completely just fell off in this, like, near the end of the season.
Yeah, but I still think that Russell Wilson deserved that MVP over Lamar. Then because Lamar got it because of his rushing stats. And for those watching who don't know who I am, I hate quarterbacks who run the ball. I think you're a quarterback, you should be throwing the ball. Hence why I like pocket passing quarterbacks. Now, obviously, if the play breaks down and your only option is to get out of there and try to make a play, I got that. But I hate quarterbacks who their first instinct is to run. And that's what people like Lamar Jackson do. The ball is snapped, and if he's not open in 2 steps, this man is getting ready to run out of the pocket.
I mean, then again, the pocket collapses on him every play.
Yeah, I mean Ronnie Stanley was hurt, so I can see that being an argument, and y'all are gonna lose Orlando Brown Jr. probably because he's a left tackle, even though he's
definitely a right.
Very good right
tackle.
Get
into that exactly. So I don't see what the problem is, but.
Yeah. But I'm ultimately cutting Kyler Murray off, like what Justin said. They couldn't make playoffs this year. Only 8-8. I feel like they could have been better. They probably could have been 7-9 if it wasn't for D-Hop's Hail Mary catch against the Bills.
Definitely.
So I feel like they'll be back next year, though, this year coming up. Their defense was hurt. Chandler Jones missed the year. I mean, they lost Pat P this offseason, but
was that really a loss?
I mean, not really since they didn't do nothing.
In the locker room and a mentor standpoint, yeah, because he was making Byron Murphy play better.
Yeah. But maybe with Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt back on the team, that defense steps up a little bit more. And Isaiah Simmons. Isaiah Simmons, safety. Isaiah Simmons in the safety position, as well as
if they can figure out what the hell they're doing with him, Buda Baker, you're talking about, but
yeah, Buda.
If they could figure out what they're doing with Isaiah Simmons, because they play him at linebacker and they play him at safety, they need to figure out where they're going to play him. I think he's a better linebacker, but
okay. Well,
wrapping it up. All right, yes, sir. That's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you, Austin, for being with us.
For sure.
Again, another banger for us. But next episode, trade deadline for the NBA was on Thursday. A lot of moves being made, a lot of buyouts being made as well. Hey, but we're going to save that for next episode. Until then, it's your boys, Juice and Lou and Austin. And we out of here. Peace.
Yo, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, turn post notifications on so you know when we post next. All right. Peace.
Molly off the drugs.